Okay, so today is October the 3rd, 2025, Friday, and it is now 11:51 a.m. I took 3 trades today. As you can see on my screen, this is my TradeZilla trading journal. So I took 3 trades today. But before I go into that, on my little notepad, I wrote this down from yesterday. There were 4 things I wanted to work on and correct. 1 was the fear of holding trades and taking a loss. That's 1. 2 was the fear of being wrong. 3 was looking for another confirmation as opposed when it comes to a reversal. So if it was from support or either from resistance, looking for a double top or a double bottom at least on the 30-second chart. So I did that today too. And then 4, no revenge trading. And I corrected that. So I corrected everything today except for 1. The first one, which was the fear of holding trades and taking a loss. So as you can see on my screen, I made $124, 3 trades with a 66.67% win rate. All right, so the first trade I lost $165. The second, I won $282, and then I broke even on the third one. I made $7, but pretty much broke even. All right, so I just want to show that first. So we're ending the week with $551. So it's been about 30 days of me having my Apex account. This is like my first real Apex account. I had one before, but I was too busy with work. I didn't even really trade, man. So I'm not even going to count that one. But so this is my first one, and we're ending the week at $551. Oh, and this is a 50K account too. All right, so now I'm going to go over my trades. I use 2 charts. This one to the left, that's my 5-minute chart. The one to my right is my 30-second chart. I use the 5-minute chart to draw my levels. I use the 30-second chart to enter into my position. Right. So these 2 blue rectangular zones, right? These are pre-market highs. That's the top one. The bottom one is a pre-market low. This yellow area here, that is a previous day high. And then I have this yellow area at the bottom. That is a previous day's low. And this orange line here is the point of control from the previous day's fixed volume profile. And as you can see, price rejected from this yellow area up top, came down and also rejected from this blue zone, this blue area here, and also this dark orange yellow line. And I drew these pre-market at about like 9:10 or something like that. So I came into the market this morning at about 9 o'clock, drew these zones before the market opened, and they respected these zones. So I'm getting better and better at drawing my price levels and then also my zones. I'm happy about that. I'm improving, and I see that moving forward in the charts. So I took 3 trades today, and I'm going to do a quick recap of these trades that I took this morning. So the first trade I took here was a loss, and I got in at 120.25, and I took a loss. I got out of the trade at 25136.25. So that was like a 15 and a half point stop loss, right? So I seen price, and this is what I was thinking before I took this trade. The first time I seen price after the open come up into this yellow area, or what I like to call just area of interest. Or price zone. A lot of people just call it a zone, but I just like to call it area of interest. They really caught my attention. So I drew the zone here, pre-market. Price came in and rejected. So I'm working on being very patient also. And I told myself today, I'm only going to take 3 trades and I'm going to be done by 10:30, no matter what. I'm giving myself some rules and some guidelines to become more disciplined and to become better within that short period of time before I try to expand my trading time past 10:30. So anyway, it came back and we tested a second time. I got in the trade. However, I made a mistake, and I'm going to correct that moving forward. I hesitated, and I got in the trade once it broke this purple line, which is the 200 EMA on my 30-second time frame. So with this red bar, the price moved very quickly. This is 30 seconds for each bar. And by the time I got in, because I hesitated, it was already down here past the 200 EMA, which I look for price action to break above or below my 200 EMA, depending on what the setup is. This wasn't the right setup for it, but I do look for that breakage of the 200 EMA after a rejection. I do look for price action to break either below or above my 200 EMA. However, price action has to move a certain way for me to take that entry. And this time it didn't. But however, where I should have gotten in at is after this first red rejection candle and price broke below that candle, that wick, or at least this other set of candles right here. However, I waited too long. If I would have did that, ideally, I could have still had my stop loss, which was a 12.5 stop loss, and I had 5 contracts, so it's about $120, $130 that I was risking at the time. And if I would have entered when I should have, I very much well could have still had my my stop loss in this zone. That's where I wanted it to be. I feel it would have been a lot safer if I would have had my stop loss in that zone. So anyway, I got in late, and so I took a loss. That was the first trade. The second trade, I waited. I'm truly working on being patient and waiting for a really good setup. So I seen price move back upward towards the same price area. And I seen that price rejected from this yellow zone the third time. So this time I didn't hesitate. On the second bearish candle, I entered. And this is where I entered in right here at 25,165.25. And I had, that was 2 hours, 12.5 stop loss. Yep, so the stop loss was there. And I got out at, all right, so that was a 2.39. So almost a 2.5 risk to reward. So my entry on this one was good. However, being that I took a loss on the previous trade, it affected me holding my trade to take profit, because initially I had like a 1 to 3. It might have been a 1 to 4, but let's just say I think it was a 1 to 3. And even then still, I had the idea that price would reject from this yellow zone, this resistance, and then make its way back down to this blue zone at the bottom, right? Being that I see a lot of value and I see a lot of energy within the price action within the first hour, or especially the first 30 minutes, right? When I see rejections within the first 30 minutes, for some reason, it seems like the rejections are a lot stronger and they're a lot more powerful. So I figured that the price would eventually make its way down here to this blue zone, and it did. However, being that I took a previous loss, it affected me holding. My trade a little longer, because more than likely I still wouldn't have caught the whole move, which would have been like a 1 to 6 risk to reward. But I probably would have, could have held it for a 1 to 4. So I got out early. All right, so the third trade was here. At this POC, this orange line was the POC, point of control from the previous day's fixed volume range profile. I entered here on this candle, and I got out like less than a point, like half a point once it retraced. I didn't take the profit on this one, right? I could have took a profit of probably like $100 and something. However, I did not take it because I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to fix my previous mistake of being afraid and holding my trade, of being afraid and not holding my trade. Two is take profit. However, on this one, so I said, you know what? I'm not going to make that same mistake. So what I did here was I moved my stop loss to a break even once the trade got to about a 1 to 1.2 or 1.3, something like that. So I didn't hold the trade to my complete 1 to 3 take profit. But that's okay because I didn't get out of it prematurely. I let the price take me out. And I broke even on this trade. So ideally, I didn't enter this trade because, you know what, maybe that was a fear then. Maybe that was some fear too. Okay, so it wasn't the fear of being wrong, and I didn't revenge trade today, and I did wait for more confirmations, like a double bottom or double top, right? So I did wait for price to react at a level more than once. So I did improve on that, but I guess it was some fear here and there that I really think about it because this POC was tested twice, 3 times. Once here, and it wicked up and it shows on the 5-minute time frame. And also, as you can see, a second time, price tested this POC. It rejected, came back for a third time. And I saw this rejection candle here, right? Higher volume on this bullish candle and a bigger green bullish candle. I should have entered soon as it finished. I should have entered. However, I didn't. I entered on the second candle here. So that wasn't the best entry. I should have entered here, and I could have had my take profit a lot closer to the POC, which would have offered me more protection from getting stopped out. But I didn't, so I'm going to work on my entries also. So I still have to work on my entries and my fear of, I guess, being wrong or taking a loss. So I have more to work on. So I guess it's 2 things that I corrected, not 3. That's okay. But we're getting better and better. And then after that, it was already 10:30, and then I stopped trading. So I told myself only 3 trades. I only took 3. No revenge trading today. I didn't overtrade. And also, I told myself I will be done at 10:30. No excuses. And I held true to that. So I was honest with myself today and following my rules. However, I do have some things to work on. So I'm going to keep my little tablet and work on these things until I eliminate them all next week. And then we'll move on to eliminating any other bad habits or reinforcing any good trading habits. So that's all I got for you guys. And hopefully next week is a better week for me. And I hope next week is a great week for you all too.